My name is Elina. I am 38 years old. I was married for 12 years to a man named Marcus. We have a 9-year-old son, Adrian. For a long time, I believed our life was steady and strong. Marcus was calm, responsible, and affectionate. We built our routines around simple joys: family dinners, weekend walks, school meetings, and late-night conversations about dreams we still wanted to achieve. I trusted him completely. I never imagined that something so small could shake everything we had built. One autumn evening, Marcus attended a corporate celebration hosted by his company. He told me it would run late and that I should not wait up. I stayed home because I had a migraine and preferred quiet. I made tea, took medicine, and went to bed early. I did not know that someone from his past would be at that event. He never mentioned that his former partner worked in the same industry and had been invited. The next morning, Marcus behaved strangely. He avoided my eyes and barely touched his breakfast. When I asked what was troubling him, he hesitated for a long time. Finally, he confessed that he had shared an intimate moment with his former partner at the party. He insisted it lasted only seconds and blamed confusion and alcohol. He said he regretted it instantly. He swore there was no deeper meaning behind it. I felt the ground slip beneath me. His explanation sounded careless. I asked how something like that could just happen. He kept repeating that it was meaningless, that he loved only me, that he wished he could erase the night. But what hurt most was not only the act. It was the fact that he had a choice. He could have stepped back. He could have walked away. Instead, he allowed the boundary to blur. Anger surged through me. I asked him to pack a few essentials and leave for a while. The apartment was legally mine. I had purchased it before our marriage. Adrian was visiting my sister that weekend, which spared him from witnessing the confrontation. After Marcus left, the silence inside the home felt heavy. I cried until my head hurt. I kept replaying his words, searching for sincerity or deception. Marcus began sending messages immediately. He apologized again and again. He said he would do anything to repair the damage. I ignored the calls because I needed space to breathe. A few days later, his father contacted me. He spoke gently and encouraged forgiveness, saying that long marriages survive mistakes. I listened politely, but made it clear that I could not dismiss betrayal as a minor error. When Adrian returned home, I chose calmness. He sensed the change, but did not understand it fully. I told him his father and I needed time to think. I did not want to fill his heart with resentment. Marcus arranged visits with Adrian at parks and libraries. I never stopped those meetings. Whatever conflict existed between us, Marcus remained a devoted father. Weeks passed. I noticed that Marcus was not defending himself anymore. Instead, he was reflecting. He began attending counseling sessions voluntarily. He reduced his social outings and stopped drinking altogether. He wrote long letters describing what he had learned about boundaries and respect. Still, I struggled with doubt. Trust, once fractured, does not mend overnight. At night, I would watch Adrian sleep and ask myself what lesson I wanted him to absorb from this chapter. Should he believe that love means tolerating pain? Or should he learn that self-respect matters just as much as affection? I wanted him to grow into a man who values commitment deeply. Months moved quietly. Life without Marcus felt different, but not unbearable. I rediscovered small parts of myself. Reading novels uninterrupted, reorganizing my workspace, visiting friends I had neglected. I realized that independence did not frighten me. It strengthened me. Marcus continued his efforts without pressure. He never demanded reconciliation. He simply showed up consistently for Adrian and treated me with patience. On Adrian's 10th birthday, we both attended the small celebration. Watching Marcus interact kindly with guests and help clean afterward stirred complex emotions in me. I could see genuine remorse in his behavior. After nearly a year, Marcus requested a serious conversation. We met at a quiet cafe near the river. He did not beg. Instead, he acknowledged the hurt he caused and described the personal growth he experienced during our separation. He said he understood that forgiveness was not owed to him. He wanted a chance not because he felt entitled, but because he valued the family we had created. I listened carefully. My heart still carried scars, yet it also recognized the effort he had invested. I asked difficult questions about loyalty, temptation, and honesty. His answers were thoughtful and direct. For the first time since that painful confession, I sensed steadiness rather than panic in his voice. Returning home, I reflected for several days. I weighed the risk of reopening my heart against the possibility of rebuilding something wiser. Adrian's laughter filled the apartment as usual. Stability mattered to him, but so did witnessing accountability. If I chose reconciliation, it would be because Marcus had changed, not because I feared solitude. Eventually, I invited Marcus to talk again, this time in our living room. I told him that forgiveness would not erase the past, but it could create a future shaped by clearer boundaries. I explained that trust would require transparency and continued counseling. He agreed without hesitation. We decided to try again slowly. Marcus moved back gradually, starting with shared family dinners before fully returning home. Communication became intentional. We discussed feelings before they turned into silence. Though the memory of that night never vanished entirely, it transformed into a reminder of what we must protect. Today, our family is not flawless. We carry lessons carved from pain. Yet there is renewed honesty between us. Adrian sees two adults who stumbled, confronted consequences, and chose growth. I learned that strength is not only walking away. It can also be standing firm, while allowing genuine change to prove itself. Our journey taught me that love alone cannot sustain a partnership. Respect, responsibility, and daily choices matter more. When those elements falter, the relationship trembles. But if both individuals commit to transformation with sincerity, rebuilding becomes possible. This is not a story about perfection. It is about boundaries, accountability, and the courage to decide deliberately. Whether one chooses separation or reconciliation, the decision must arise from clarity rather than fear. In my case, clarity led me to extend a second opportunity, not as a sign of weakness, but as evidence of resilience. Life continues with ordinary routines, school runs, shared meals, evening conversations. Sometimes I still remember the pain of that autumn morning. But I also recognize how far we have traveled since then. Growth is rarely comfortable. Yet through discomfort, we discovered a more conscious way of loving. That is how our chapter unfolded. A mistake, a fracture, a period of distance, and a careful rebuilding rooted in stronger values.